Alright guys, so we haven't done one of these videos in a while now because there hasn't really been any information at all in regards to, well, Canon rumors. So there's some out there. So I figured why not talk about it, because it's kind of exciting. 2020 in regards really to Canon, I found was really all about kind of the pricier pieces of gear. You know, the R5, the R6. They have the C70 that's kind of on its way out right now. All really big budgeted, big ticketed items, which is cool. But those are cameras that probably don't see as much attention really, because who's, for most people, able to drop, you know, $3, $4, $5 and more $1,000 on a camera. Canon actually, it looks like, this is again rumor, that they could have a possible RF mount camera roadmap, and this is on Canon Rumors. So if you guys want to go take a read, I'll put links to Canon Rumors up there. But this is kind of cool because it really is in regards to a little bit more budget friendly cameras that can kind of take advantage of the RF mount. So if you look here on their website, a couple cameras. A new entry-level camera to replace the RP. Now, the RP was actually one of my favorite cameras, and a camera that I used for this channel since it really came out. The price continually kind of dropped, and I thought it was a great entry point. So if they can kind of just add to it, I think that's going to be a huge thing. I'd love to see them make an RP2, we'll say, and really just give it uncropped 4K, dual pixel autofocus, and just kind of keep it the way it is. I'd be happy with that kind of upgrade. But for those of us shooting 4K, that's a big one. And I wouldn't mind seeing a megapixel for photos, kind of punch up, get it up closer to the 30 megapixel, something like where the 90D is kind of sitting. Second body above an ES-RP. So this could be where the Canon R replacement is kind of in there. So be interesting to see again if we can get sort of those kind of specs, because if you look at the RP versus the R, very similar. Again, the R had more resolution and had dual pixel, I believe, in shooting 4K, but also had that crop. So it had a 1.6 times crop, I believe, where the RP had a 1.5 or something like that. So get rid of the crop. Crop has to go away. But another nice option. But for me, the RP Mark II, we'll call it, if that's a thing, would actually be a camera that I would definitely consider if it has uncropped 4K with eye detection, dual pixel. Dual pixel, super important. All right, then an APS-C RF mount, and we all have been waiting for this to happen. And when they released and talked about releasing, or did release, the M50 Mark II, which literally everybody says it, M50 Mark II was the M50 with a firmware update that they decided not to send out to those of us that had an M50. It really did kind of enforce and kind of confirm, I think, that the M series of cameras is kind of done. And with a roadmap like this, I think they're going to be focusing on the APS-C cameras in this realm. So, for instance, the Canon 7D replacement and the Canon T7i and the Canon T7 kind of lineup, those APS-C cameras, I could see getting RF versions of those so that we get something a little more budget friendly and still have the ability to utilize the RF lenses. Because right now, you know, considering how many Canon EF bodies are out there on the market, because that style of lens has been around forever since I started into digital cameras, and now you got Canon investing pretty much strictly in RF glass, and probably 80% of the population can't buy it because their camera doesn't support it. So they have to start releasing cameras, APS-C, stuff that's a little more, again, price friendly, that they can get the body into consumers' hands so that they can start buying these RF lenses. So I get that. And we're going to see a high resolution EOS R5, because I guess 40 something megapixels wasn't enough. So that's not high. We're going to see higher. Okay. A flagship RF mount camera, because again, the RF I don't know what they mean by flagship. The Tokyo Olympics appeared to be a go, and I expect we'll see some kind of flagship RF mount camera body announcement. Sure. And last but not least, there will be a Cinema EOS C50 and a Cinema EOS C90 in the first half. So the C50, my voice just kind of went away. The C50 has definitely been something of interest because we're seeing a lot of these box cameras come out, especially Panasonic just released their box camera. And I'd be interested to see if the C50 is something kind of in that realm. So it's a really modular style camera, cinema camera, that you kind of start with this brain and be able to just kind of add on to it. Of course, RF mounted, so that you can just kind of have a really good starting point, but it is very centered on video, right? Where all the other cameras that we're looking at really have to think about them is those are photo cameras that have video as a really nice ability. And a lot of us use these cameras, like for me, the R6. I use this 90% of the time for video. So something like this could be a really good option if it's priced not too bad and gives us that flexibility and a lot of those features that we want out of a camera like the R6, but without any of the heat restrictions. So that would also be really good. So yeah, a lot of interesting, I think more budget friendly, and as it says, some big flagship cameras that will coming out. And I think along with that, we'll start to see more and more RF glass, especially from Canon. That's going to be a little more, again, budget friendly. And we'll start to see more glass from like Sigma and Tamron and Tokina and things like that. The other thing, just as a side note, because you're here, and I thought it would be cool to share this with you, is this. This is a Kickstarter. And again, it's on Canon Rumors. But for those of us that shoot Canon cameras and shoot especially, I think it has, so you see here it has Canon compatibility, there's Sony compatibility, and Nikon. And basically, if your camera's one of these, which luckily for me, I have an RP, which it's not, so that's sad. But I get it because it's going to be based around a certain style. But I do have the R6. So R6, of course, is right there. And these are, it's a new battery coming out. So it's a singular quick charge battery that basically has the same capacity as two of the Canon batteries. It also has the ability to be able to see right from the battery physically itself what the charge level is at. It has a USB-C port on it so that you can, I believe, charge it as well as charge other things from that battery. So if you have something on your cold shoe that you need to be able to power, the battery will be able to power the camera and the device. So right now it's on Kickstarter. I think they're saying it's about 35%, I believe, off of what the regular price is. Of course, they are not cheap batteries, but think of it like getting two Canon batteries with a whole bunch of extra features. When is release date? I'm not really sure because we come here to Kickstarter and back this project, right? So very cool. We created that is 2 times capacity of an LPE6 battery. Features charge level indicator. This can be loaded in just 1 second. What? Oh yeah, so it has a quick release. That's what they're talking about. You can recharge batteries or supply power via the USB-C, and that can also be converted into a power bank. So there's just this. It's super cool, and I think it may be something that even I consider, because if you look down here at the pricing, actually on this side, you're looking at about $99 US. Now, of course, that's considerably more expensive than a Canon battery, but it's basically like getting 2, right? And even this one here for 188 bucks, you're getting 2. So this is not bad because it really brings it down to about $50. And you don't have to change batteries in the middle, and you can change other stuff. So you're going out for a day shoot and you just pop one battery in. That's kind of nice. This is definitely something I'm going to be looking at. Oh yeah, there you go. Estimated delivery March 2021. So head on over to here if that's something that you're interested in. All right, guys, just some camera news. Haven't done one in a while. Thought this was a cool update. I'll put links to the Kickstarter page and again to Canon Rumors, and you guys can take a look. All right, guys, I'm out. Talk to you tomorrow. Later.